am a watchman. Who has been given eyes to see,
Is something you're not seeing.
and ears to hear.
Whispers.
Ears to hear. Ears to hear.
I can hear.
Ears to hear. They're silent weapons for quiet wars.
Are we dreaming?
You see, there's a shadowy cabal that conspires against you.
Expose them.
Conspires against you. And every time I hear their whispers,
Whispers.
Open your eyes.
wake up. I blow the trumpet.
Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid?
I blow the trumpet.
And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition,
Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? And the people not be afraid? And the people not be afraid?
Eyes to see, ears to hear. Shalom, family. Welcome to Shattered Paradise. Cuts from the archive. Wow, the truth is really coming to the light in these last days. Well, at least for those of us who are able to connect the dots. In the past, we've seen the elites utilize sophisticated social and psychological warfare strategies against the masses. Psyops like the Hegelian dialectic, implementing order out of chaos. But today, it seems they believe the general public, the masses, are so dumbed down they no longer have to use complex and expensive social engineering techniques to manipulate the people, when simple reverse psychology will do the trick.
Rapper Snoop Dogg and Master P are taking on two giants in the retail world, Walmart and the Post cereal company. As NBC4's Gordon Tokumatsu reports, their lawsuit is all about shelf space and connecting fans to Snoop's new cereal brand.
Legendary rapper Snoop Dogg, whose real name is Calvin Brodus, via video this morning, part of a news conference with his business partner, rapper Master P, where the two of them announced they're suing cereal giant Post and retail leader Walmart.
This is about minority-owned companies getting a fair share.
At issue is anecdotal video evidence from fans across the country. They've been wondering, says attorney Ben Crump, why they can't find Snoop cereal on Walmart shelves.
At dozens of Walmarts all around America, everybody went saying, where's Snoop's cereal?
In the retail game, product placement is very important. Where is it in the store and who can see it?
That shelf space in any supermarket first is worth millions and is very, very limited.
But in the video, Crump alleges that Snoop's Fruity Hoops, Cinnamon Toasties, and others are being hidden from customers, sitting on stockroom shelves in the back of the stores, while Post brands and others remain on display out front. Today, Crump filed a lawsuit on behalf of the rappers. Among their claims against Walmart and Post, breach of contract, fraud, collusion, and conspiracy. We asked him, though, why Walmart would hide a product that could potentially make millions of dollars for the retail chain.
I just want to show you. This is Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. And this is Kellogg's Zucaritas. So, in the version that's not aimed at the Hispanic population, you have milled corn, sugar, malt flavor, contains 2% less of salt. And the ones that are being promoted to Hispanic population, you have milled corn, sugar, malt flavor, contains 2% less of salt, BHT. All right? Why are they doing that? So this is up on the Environmental Working Group website, and it's talking specifically about BHA and BHT, butylated hydroxyanisole, and butylated hydroxytoluene. But these are additives that have been shown to cause hormone disruption and harm the reproductive system. And it says down here specifically about BHT that it may disrupt endocrine function by causing thyroid changes and affecting animal development, according to the European Food Safety Authority, and that studies on rats fed BHT found they developed liver and lung tumors. So this is something that is not allowed in many countries in Europe, also Japan, banned from food. That is how dangerous other countries have acknowledged that this stuff is. They're still putting this in their products. They can make this, okay, without that. Clearly they can. So why are they putting BHT in the one and not the other? Ask yourself.
They want us to think that the man is trying to stop us from getting the cereal, so we will fight harder to find it.
Girls, we gotta find a Snoop Dogg cereal. Where is it? We found a Snoop Dogg cereal. Dad, which way we gonna get?
Reverse psychology. Reverse psychology. Reverse psychology.
It is not a coincidence that Snoop Dogg's BHT-laced infertility loops are being pushed to the forefront at the exact same time Kellogg's Cereal for Dinner campaign is in full swing, which is messaging to low-income families that cereal is a cheap, viable alternative to a complete nutrition-rich dinner.
The cereal category has always been quite affordable, and it tends to be a great destination when consumers are under pressure. So some of the things that we're doing is first messaging. We got to reach the consumer where they are. So we're advertising about cereal for dinner. If you think about the cost of cereal for a family versus what they might otherwise do, that's going to be much more affordable. The cereal category is a place that a lot of folks might come to because the price of a bowl of cereal with milk and with fruit is less than $1. So you can imagine why a consumer under pressure might find that to be a good place to go.
Right. I'm all for innovation and marketing, but the idea of having cereal for dinner, is there the potential for that to land the wrong way?
We don't think so. In fact, it's landing really well right now, Carl. Cereal for dinner is something that is probably more on trend now, and we would expect to continue as that consumer is under pressure.
When I say cereal, you say dinner. Cereal.
Dinner!
Cereal.
Dinner!
Chicken!
You can have the night off, chicken.
Ah, okay, I'll go marinate.
Cereal.
Dinner!
Cereal.
Dinner!
Though the eugenics population control arm of the New World Order is targeting the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, these groups are just being subjected to a double dose of what the whole working class population of America is being exposed to.
Might want to put that box of Cheerios back on the shelf if you're interested in your health. A staggering 4 out of 5 Americans are being exposed to a dangerous chemical linked to reduced fertility, altered fetal growth, and delayed puberty. Those chemicals are reportedly on a huge number of popular oat-based foods in America, including Cheerios and Quaker Oats. In a study of the chemical chlormequat, a lot of these chemicals are obviously not good for our bodies, and I don't think it's any coincidence that we've seen a rise in chronic illnesses, in diabetes, obesity throughout our country as our food supply has gotten away from whole foods and more into these types of boxed, prepackaged goods.
Yeah, what happened to, I thought it was Quaker Oats. He's supposed to be a pacifist, and his Cheerios are poisoning us. And they're making us gay, puberty blockers, infertility. And they're making us gay, puberty blockers, infertility.
The Long Beach rapper and his fellow musician turned businessman Master P are taking legal action against a major retailer. They claim they've been discriminated against.
Please, people, don't fall for this rudimentary reverse psychology attempt to paint these two played-out puppets of the deep state as some kind of innocent victims of discrimination.
This is an obvious attempt to target a specific demographic with a cocktail of gender-bending infertility chemicals disguised as a colorful and fun nutritious breakfast brought to you by 2 disadvantaged black entrepreneurs.
It's imperative you learn how to spot a psyop, and this is a good place to start. I mean, it's hidden in plain sight. The 9th song of Snoop Dogg's debut album, Doggy Style, is even titled Serial Killer.
21 oat-based cereals and snack products popular with kids contain traces amount of this chemical, which is the active ingredient in the weed killer Roundup.
For those of us who reside in the Western world, we are currently living through a catastrophically devastating manufactured gender war, which, at the highest, most metaphysical level, is being fueled by spiritual forces, ritual, sorcery, and witchcraft. But at the physical level, is driven by the hormonal biochemical transformation of our biology and environment, especially through the products many rely on for nutrition, our food.
All right, Kellogg's is getting ready to celebrate Pride Month. A new heart-shaped cereal is coming out next month.
And what is the end result of all this feminizing and emasculation on a society?
It'll be available for a limited time, and this cereal is berry flavored, and the colorful pieces there, they're topped with glitter. For each box sold, Kellogg says it's donated $3 to GLAAD, which helps with LGBTQ acceptance. And by the way, Pride Month is in June.
And what is the end result?
Despite all the challenges we face, I remain convinced that yes, the future is female.
Did you just put a cigarette into his mouth? That's... Oh, it's the video, if that's okay. I'm not judging. You're both consenting adults.
Oh, yeah.
Can I please capture your interactions? Thank you. Very kind of you. I wish everyone was as cool as this. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have two consenting adults role-playing in public. And I'd like to be offended, but they're two consenting adults, and I support their freedom. But the viewers will be wondering, what is going on? What is going on?
In the world of female supremacy.
Female supremacy?
Yeah. So they know that women are in charge and women are here to rule. So as the beta male...
Beta male. Are you a beta male? Okay, as the beta...
A beta male is basically a male that wasn't really born to be a man. As you can see, that's why she's in a pretty frilly dress.
Oh. Well, I won't judge. But does that not hurt, the cigarette ash on your tongue? Is it okay if I speak to...
It's okay that you speak to him.
And can you answer questions? What? Oh, my phone's ringing. Quickly, what do you get out of it? Humiliation?
All right, so what's in a name? Hollywood's leading men have been called a lot of them.
But now there is a new one that is making the rounds on social media. Baby girl. And experts say it is actually meant as a compliment.
What does the term baby girl mean, and why is it being applied to male actors or male presenting characters?
Good morning, Valerie and Joe. So baby girl, I kind of think of it as a catch-all term, but it does have some specific attributes. It could be applied to someone who is vulnerable and also kind of has a submissive personality, or it could be applied to a man who is burly, surly, and the complete opposite of what we think of as baby girl. This seems to be the year of baby girl. We've seen it really take off again around shows like The Last of Us, Succession, but we actually don't know who coined the phrase first. There's a lot of researchers who look for the origins of these certain words. We're just not sure where baby girl started, but we know that 2017 is sort of when we first started seeing it applied in this way.
And some language scholars are actually applauding the term. Why is that?
Yeah, I spoke with a linguist who said, typically female-sounding terms, when they're applied to, like, heteronormative men, we tend to think of that in our culture as a negative thing. Baby girl is thought of as a real positive thing, and it's sort of this feminine term that's applied to heteronormative men in a positive way. It's a way that our language is becoming more gender inclusive and gender fluid, and we're seeing that the way the internet is affecting that in real time. It's really cool just to see how our language changes and evolves and sort of becomes, more equal as time goes on.
There's something in the water.
As you can see, the assault on masculinity is a spiritual obsession with the elites. But this demonic impulse does not stay in elite circles, but is now disseminated in the most common public spaces in Western society. This video was filmed at the Mall of America, located in Minnesota. The obscene name of this drag performer which is boldly showcased on a massive jumbotron in a shopping center full of children, illustrates their aggressive indoctrination campaign is accelerating.
New Doritos, now in 3D.
Daddy, can you play Princess Fashion Shows with me?
Sweetheart, I'd love to, but the guys, they're outside waiting for me.
We got Doritos.
Steve, what is the holdup?
Go Neil! Go Neil! Is that my wedding dress?
It could be.
A 6-foot-plus male basketball player at Kipp Academy in Massachusetts suited up for the school's women's team and injured multiple opposing players, which resulted in forfeiture at halftime. Now, you would think after being forced to halt play mid-game due to injuries sustained from competing against a male that the Collegiate Charter School of Lowell would go scorched earth in its response. No, an opportunity to appear progressive simply could not be passed up, stating the charter school reiterates its values to inclusivity and safety. We also follow the state laws regarding equity for all student athletes.
Here, Kraft Mac and Cheese is openly illustrating the transformative effects of consuming their product, proudly showcasing that the food is not only unhealthy, but is a gateway to the demonic.
Predictive programming. Predictive programming.
X marks the spot as a second great American eclipse quickly approaches, signifying biblical judgment. Many illuminists are either checking out or going into hiding. In light of the recent death of Lord Jacob Rothschild, 4th Baron Rothschild, there seems to be an acceleration in what Freemasonic thinkers refer to as the Great Work, the synthesis of dualistic opposites.
In recent years, some of the most powerful members of the blue blood aristocracy and the Illuminati ruling class have seemingly died of old age and so-called natural causes, leaving behind a tapestry of clues in the form of signs and symbols which adorn the architecture and walls of the globalist foundations and New World Order institutions they founded and left behind. This year, at the annual World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, while former UK Prime Minister Theresa May was addressing a room full of global elites, a few of us, they would refer to as commoners, peasants, and serfs, have noticed the unique art they chose to display to these global decision makers. The name of this disturbing artwork is the Walthamstow Tapestry by Grayson Perry, which depicts the birthing scene of a red child released by his mother along with a river of blood, which traverses the entire tapestry, surrounded by the names of prominent corporations and retail brands until the river winds its way into the devil's mouth, along with what appear to be worshippers and devotees offering sacrifices to Satan, including the sacrifice of a child.
This is the Walthamstow Tapestry, and the original inspiration, I suppose, was with the most famous piece of textile art in Britain is it's not in Britain now, but to British people, is the Bayeux Tapestry, which is it's a large embroidery depicting the invasion of the Normans into Britain in 1066.
There is a moral question to be asked about whether, the way that brands inveigle their way into our minds like the Normans invaded England. So this is, the modern Bayeux Tapestry in some ways. It's about the subtle invasion of our emotional lives by brands. I suppose the sort of art that I like the most is religious art, and I wanted to make something that had the feeling of a kind of fresco, I suppose, for certain extent. And of course, I needed a kind of icon in the middle. I wanted a kind of Madonna figure.
And this cuts from the archives We're going to review a small segment from a video we did a little while back, but this time we want to look at the information in light of some of the signs and symbols surrounding Cat Williams' 2023 andme tour, which we exposed in Marine Kingdom 3.
You must ask yourself, why are the Illuminists using Cat Williams to push a specific demographic toward this genetic ancestry service? They'll never really tell you where you come from, but they may use your DNA for other purposes.
The current economic, social, and medical system is quickly adopting a whole host of genetic verification processes and technologies. The B system has proclaimed that biology and DNA are their new frontier of control, so for us, in the midst of the Great Awakening, we must be vigilant and sober-minded. We understand that many are seeking to gain insight into their personal family history using companies like 23andMe, Ancestry DNA to verify their ethnic background. And for those of us who are part of the diaspora, the revelation that we are descendants of the biblical Israelites, the temptation to use one of these DNA companies to trace our lineage to a particular Hebrew tribe in West Africa has been too much for some of us to resist, but we want to caution you today.
A new warning tonight about DNA companies and your personal information. Your DNA information can be sold and weaponized against you. The alarm being sounded. Listen to this.
Yeah, so to be clear, I think one of the things we're talking about here is that there are now weapons under development and developed that are designed to target specific people. Right, that's what this is, where you can actually take someone's DNA, take their medical profile, and you can target a biological weapon that will kill that person or take them off the battlefield or make them inoperable. So you can't have a discussion about this without talking about privacy and commercial data and the protection of commercial data, because expectations of privacy have degraded over the last 20 years. Young folks actually have very little expectation of privacy. That's what the polling and the data show. And people will very rapidly spit into a cup and send it into 23andMe and get really interesting data about their background. And guess what? Their DNA is now owned by a private company and can be sold off with very little intellectual property protection or privacy protection. And we don't have legal and regulatory regimes to deal with that. So we have to have an open and public discussion, and this is going to have to be a political discussion about what does the protection of healthcare information, DNA information, and your data look like, because that data is actually going to be procured and collected by our adversaries for the development of these systems.
I have been warning people about this for years, since 23andMe and all those spit in the vial, send it in. We're giving our information away. Health information is valuable information about you, and also the abuse and where the data is stored.
It's time for us to be cognizant of the fact that not only is there a huge industry based on the extraction of biological and genetic material from individuals, but the military-industrial complex is also very involved in creating weapons from the biological materials we volunteer or they steal from us and our children. They not only aim to create weapons specifically made to kill an individual, but they have race-specific bioweapons, which can target whole ethnic groups, so it is imperative that we withhold our DNA, our blood, and all genetic material as much as possible.
We're going to rebuke some demons tonight. The last time we set out to expose this particular class of spirits, we received powerful testimonies from viewers who were edified and made more aware of Satan's devices.
Chains were broken and folks started on the road to being set free. However, these great victories did not come without a cost. Not only was the video deleted from YouTube, but we suffered increased censorship and spiritual attacks that we had to fight off for months.
So you can imagine how we felt the last few weeks when all the news reports, articles, and information we were gathering seemed to converge and point to the exact same spirits we confronted just 3 short years ago.
Here we go again.
We were being led to create part 3 to one of the most spiritually dangerous series we have ever produced. Despite all the enemy's efforts to discourage and stop us, I knew I had to blow the trumpet and shine the light on this swarm. This demon's nest, just one more time.
One more time. We're gonna stay here. We're not running. We're gonna stand our ground. But we can't do it without your prayers, encouragement, and support. We need you.
One more time. We're gonna stay here. We need you.
This is the last installment in this series. Pray for us.
We need you, Abba Yah. Help us close this chapter.
They cannot intrude here.
In the midst of increasing global tensions, the drums of war are sounding. Alliances are being forged and battle lines are being drawn across land and water.
Tensions are rising in one of the most hotly contested regions on the planet, the South China Sea.
China's President Xi Jinping compared the BRICS economic bloc to a giant ship sailing forward against raging torrents and storms.
We are witnessing the world reserve currency being systematically devalued and undermined, while banking institutions play big fish eat little fish. This is the geopolitical backdrop surrounding the highly significant coronation and crowning of the new British monarch, who is charged to preside over an economic, social, biological, and spiritual Great Reset.
Question: did any creatures, entities, or beings outside of Noah's Ark survive the Great Flood?
There's something in the water.
So is this great and wide sea, wherein are things creeping, innumerable, both small and great beasts. There go the ships. There is that Leviathan, whom thou hast made to play therein. These wait all upon thee, that thou mayest give them their meat in due season.
There's something in the water.
Suspicious ship movements before the blast.
I see it taking over.
These were so-called ghost ships.
The kingdoms of the world. Its tentacles are around their neck. It's choking mankind.
The Marine Kingdom.